Well, good morning. It's Monday morning and I can't decide whether it wants to rain out or be sunny. It's kind of sunny right now, but that could change any second. Welcome to New England. I'm on my way to Vermont for a Two Grannies on the Road trip. And my guest granny this week is Sharon Colvin, and she lives up in Fletcher, Vermont. So I'm going up to her house and we're going to have some fun the next 3 days. So why don't you come along? So today I'm here with my friend Sharon Colvin, and she has been the guest granny on the road for this road trip. And she also is a very interesting person on her own, outside of the fact of being another granny. So Sharon, tell us a little bit about what your career's been like. What did you start out as in your career?
I was a operating room nurse for 42 years and retired from there.
Wow.
Did it gradually. I did per diem for a short time because I thought they couldn't live without me, but no.
Don't we all think that?
Nursing has always been my passion of taking care of others and alleviating their pain. And during that process, I started doing energy work. So, and also towards the end when I was deciding to retire, I knew I had to keep myself busy. So I went out and I had a session of foot reflexology and just loved it. It was like a wow moment. And so the day that I received the treatment, I hunted around and I found this Cortijo Institute, which I don't think is around anymore. They were a massage therapy and they also offered reflexology. So I did over 300 hours of classroom training and hands-on training and became a certified foot reflexologist. And I then went on to get another qualification in that to be board certified in that. So only because I feel that when you have a passion that you need to do as much as you can so people can see that you are qualifying yourself to be able to do that procedure. Mm-hmm. So, and I've done a little bit of entrepreneur. I did Arbonne for a while and Herbalife, and I'm now with a new company, and which hasn't really gone full force into the marketplace yet. They're just building distributors and customer base. The product has been around for 14 years and it's only one product. I don't have to do parties or it's all social media, using social media. I don't need to have an inventory of it, and it's right down the line of taking care of others. I've had such good benefits with it. I want everybody to have the chance, and then they can decide what they want to do with it, but it's amazing how it can help you with your skin condition and discomfort, and I've got new hair growth, and it's just amazing, and it's safe, and it's over the counter.
A few distractions here.
Yes, a few. With 3 dogs, you have to expect some, but it just feels so different to me, and I was really missing something because I moved to Vermont, and there really isn't much for me to do up here. So I decided that this was something that felt right to me, and one of my best friends offered it to me.
So your whole career has really been about helping other people.
Health and wellness.
And
Yeah.
health and wellness,
Yeah.
and health and wellness, right. And you went from being a nurse, which is being employed by other people, to doing things on your own, and that's a big change. So what was the best part about making that change, or why did you make that change?
It was choosing your own time, working at the hours you wanted to work, not having someone interfering with. And the biggest problem with nursing is you don't have a choice of when you can really work. If they say you're working a weekend, you're working a weekend. If you're working a holiday, if you're working nights, you're working nights. And I just liked the idea that I had a choice. My daughters grew up not knowing how it was going to be during holidays, because usually I was on call, and was I going to be home or wasn't I going to be home? You know, so there were quite a few things that they missed out on because I was dedicated to being there at the hospital and nursing. So it was, for me, it was like, I didn't have to, I could let the phone go to a message. I didn't have to be panicky about answering the phone, you know, and just choosing my own hours. Having a life, having a business, but having a life. And that was kind of hard to do in nursing because,
Right.
you know, you have to dedicate so much time.
Right.
And there's just as much a commitment to raising a family. So when my family was grown, but it was just choosing my hours and choosing who I was going to work with. So it's like, you know, you can manifest, and it seemed like the people that were supposed to come to me came to me. So I just, you know, the way the universe works, and it was just meant to be, and it felt right. You know when it feels right that you're doing it right. So.
Right. So you're a baby boomer, like I am. We're the same age.
Yes.
And
You're a month older.
okay, well, rub it in a little bit, why don't you? And so I'm sure, seen some of the same challenges that I've seen in terms of being a baby boomer. So how was it actually switching to, I mean, how old were you when you actually went into the reflexology and got out of nursing?
So I was 60, no, I was 58 when I started doing reflexology, but I still was working, so it was like a combination, but I knew I was going to retire, and I retired at 62, so I retired early. And
So how hard was that to make that kind of a transition, because it changes a lot, it changes the financial situation. How was that as a baby boomer making that transition?
It was fine. I didn't feel any crunch or anything, you know, because in my mind, I was not living in scarcity. So I was living in abundance. And when you start living in abundance, you change your mindset about what is necessary to live and what is frivolous. And so you choose that, so you know exactly what you need to live and be happy, and the rest of it, just if it's there, okay, it's there, but you don't really need it, you know. So it wasn't difficult at all. I enjoyed it very much.
Awesome. So do you have advice for anyone who's a baby boomer who might be reaching retirement and thinking of reinventing themselves, or thinking about what they might want to do after they finish maybe another career?
I think the thing is you have dreams, and if your dream is something that you could set a goal and plan on a goal to reach, the world, there's no limit on what you can do. You know, it's like the world is your oyster. So you can do whatever. You just have to decide, is this really what I want to do? Because so many of us decide, oh, let's try this because it's popular to do, and it falls by the wayside. It has to be a passion from your heart. It has to make you do that almost like, feeling, you know, that this is it. I found myself, this is what I want to do. And just strive to do it and do everything you can to reach that goal. So I never felt that there was a limitation. And most limitations are the fear. And the fear is your ego afraid, and there's no need to be afraid. Just to jump into the adventure, you know, and enjoy it to the fullest. Because this is not a dress rehearsal. This is your life, and you only get to do it once. So have fun doing it. That's, that's the name of the game.
Right.
So
you're living your dreams. You're
Yes.
having fun.
Yes.
You're doing something that you love, and you're having fun doing it.
yes, and I belong to Red Hat Society group up here, and we are devils. We're the Scarlet Sassy Sisters, and we really do have fun. We eat our dessert first, and the only rule to belong is to have fun, just to have fun and laugh and be willing to share in with the group. And yeah, so it's fun. I'm having a good time.
That's
I
awesome.
wear red and purple, and I enjoy it. So yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, you also moved in the last 2 years from
Yeah.
Massachusetts.
Actually, it was
to-
in January we moved here. So it's recent. Yeah,
And that's very brave.
well, here when I come over the border to Vermont, it just, it's like all of a sudden your shoulders relax, you take a deep breath, you see the beautiful trees and the mountains, and it's the same idea as being by the ocean. I am drawn to the ocean, but I'm just as much drawn to nature and the mountains and how beautiful they are. And this is my home state, even though I was southern Vermont, it's like this is where I was meant to be, and I'm so glad that I came back. My husband seems to be, he was always in Massachusetts too, and he just feels very happy here and fulfilled. So,
That's great.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit more about reflexology. I know it's really interesting. What does it do for people? What's the philosophy behind it?
Reflexology is I work pressure points, which are of the reflex points of the foot, and what it does is when I touch on a certain point which corresponds with a organ in your body, it releases tension and everything relaxes, and it truly is true relaxation. And in relaxing, it allows your body to start healing itself. I'm not the healer. The person is the healer, and I just facilitate it. So in different areas going through the map of the foot, you can touch, and it's been proven with electrodes and sensations of, yes, when you touch this is the area that lights up. So it really is, and it's just, I think the most holistic approach. It's not invasive, it's just get them in a chair, let them relax, love them up, and allow them to do their own healing. So it really does work. So,
That's great.
yeah.
Well, thank you for being with Two Grannies on the Road today, being a guest granny and having a little adventure with us. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, we had a good time.
We did. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
After I sat down with Sharon to talk about her career path, we took a trip over to Burlington to have lunch at El Cortijo, a beautiful little Mexican restaurant with a farm-to-taco philosophy.
This is Sarah, and she's the manager of El Cortijo in Burlington, Vermont. And we're talking to her about using from the farm to the taco. So can you tell us a little bit about that concept?
So we're part of a group of currently 4 4 restaurants. We have all 4 different concepts. The one underlying theme for all of them is using as much local food and produce as possible. And our standpoint is that we are very fortunate to have access to all this great local food. These people putting out amazing products. It allows us to both support local business and carry local, fresh, great food, and really be part of the community, supporting local agriculture, supporting local farmers, and also, all the people who have employees as well. So it's really a win-win for us. I think that we get we're a Vermont, Mexican restaurant. So it's kind of our own spin to make it our own and be part of, just be able to offer a better product to our customers and simultaneously have these relationships with local farmers.
So how many are in your group? You said that there's 3 other restaurants?
Yep. So the Farmhouse Tap and Grill is our flagship restaurant. They are located just over a few blocks, or like a block over on Main Street. They were our first restaurant, and that's kind of like an American kind of like pub food, local burgers, charcuterie, cheeses. They do some raw bar, but just kind of like that comforting going out to eat meal that like so many people I think crave, especially in this area. And we also have a steakhouse on Williston Road called Gill Tavern, and Cascola Ristorano, which is also right around the corner, and that's an Italian restaurant. So handmade pasta, wood-fired pizza, and again, we're all very different. We have different concepts, but the one underlying theme is using as much local food. Yes.
To the farm, and yours is
to the
from the farm to the
taco.
To the taco.
Yes.
But everybody else is also doing the same thing.
Yeah.
So.
And most of our the names even are kind of like a play, and they're specific. In whatever language, like Pascolo means to pasture, out to pasture. Cortijo is like, it doesn't quite directly translate to farmhouse, but it's similar. So like all the names are like their own kind of variation on the original, but the farmhouse and really farm to table. So again, we just we have access to all this great agriculture, all these great products in Vermont, and why wouldn't you use them if you have them? Why would you go elsewhere for things that you don't need, that you can support your own community here. So that's our viewpoint.
How long have you been established doing this?
So Cortijo has been here, will be 7 years on December 31st. So we opened on New Year's Eve, which is kind of a fun
time.
Yeah, absolutely. But
that's the taco.
Yes, exactly. And honestly, I'm going to blank on the date of Farmhouse. I want to say 8 years, but don't quote me on that.
No. So you've been around for a while.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you're really established in the community.
Yeah, exactly. And we, it's a great collaboration. I've worked with some great chefs. There's definitely like a feeling, I think, of even community within the group, which is really nice. And you get to see other people doing the same thing as you, and kind of have this connection. We're all doing something separate, but also something very similar. So it is a great place to work, and that there is a real community feeling to what we're doing. And here I will spend, I'll have like my office day, and it's such a neat thing to like sit and just watch people come in with, dollies of local greens, produce from the farms, and just to really see that that's coming from one day, out in the field to the next day on your plate, which is a neat thing to be a part of, for sure. I feel very fortunate.
Well, it was delicious.
We'd love to hear that. Thanks so much for coming. We're happy to.
Thank you. I'm glad you could spend some time with us. We
absolutely.
really appreciate it.
Oh, of course. Thank you. Yes. Lovely to meet you both, and it's a pleasure to have you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
While we were experiencing the beautiful state of Vermont, I thought this would be a great place to show you some footage from a trip that Roger and I took. We stayed at the Common Man Inn in Claremont, New Hampshire, a great little inn that surprises you when you walk in the door. From the outside, it looks like an industrial building, and inside is anything but. The innkeeper told us about the Artisan Park in Windsor, Vermont, so we headed there to check it out. At the Great River Outfitters, we went into the Path of Life Sculpture Garden. As described on their website, the garden is a landscape shaped by a revelation of the human spirit and inspired by our relationship with the natural world. Visitors travel through 18 works of art illustrating elements that constitute human life. In doing so, spectator is transformed into participant, engaging the 14 acres of sculptures and the surrounding expanse. Accented by the Connecticut River, the Path of Life garden accommodates hiking, picnicking, yoga, meditation, and unique camping opportunities. From there, we decided to visit the King Arthur Flour Bakery and Cafe in Norwich, Vermont. Inside, we found a cafe with a wide variety of soups, sandwiches, freshly baked breads, and other goodies. An apple pie making demo, a shop where one could buy a variety of flours and other baking utensils, and the bakery itself, which visitors could peer into through large glass windows. Down the hall was their baking school. And that's the end of our wonderful adventures in Vermont. Be sure to stay tuned for the next exciting adventure of two grannies on the road.